Hello, welcome back to the breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you are watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got a breaking news report coming out from Ukraine. I have another update for you guys regarding the Easter truce or ceasefire that's supposed to be ongoing right now between Ukraine and Russia, and is supposed to be in effect until tomorrow evening at the end of Easter. New update on your screen here. Ukraine says Russia still attacking despite Easter truce announcement. The head of the Center for Countering Disinformation, Andriy Kovalenko, reported that despite the announcement of an Easter ceasefire by Russia, fighting continues on the front line. So this is a photo of him right here, Andriy Kovalenko. So yeah, I've got a video that I can show you guys. We're not really going to watch it because it doesn't have any subtitles, but the information that I have for you guys shows that Ukraine is stating that Russia has not committed to this ceasefire in full. I'm seeing kind of mixed reports going on all along the front line right now. We also have a statement that came out from Volodymyr Zelenskyy. So I want to show you guys all this information that looks like this is not a real Easter truce, and at least we are still seeing some combat from the Russian side across the front line. So let's jump on over here to RBC Ukraine. Putin lied again. Fighting continues along front line despite Easter ceasefire announcement. You can see the date here, April 19th, 2025, just today on Saturday. And it says here the head of Center for Countering Disinformation, Andriy Kovalenko, reported that despite the announcement of an Easter ceasefire by Russia, fighting continues on all frontline directions. Kovalenko stated that even after Russian President Vladimir Putin's declaration of an Easter ceasefire, fighting continues across all fronts. According to him, particularly intense shelling has been recorded in eastern Ukraine. Russians continue to fire along the front line as they did before. The heaviest fighting is in the east, he emphasized. So there is more information here talking about Putin's ceasefire. We gave you guys this whole update in our last video update for the Russia-Ukraine war this morning. So you guys can go ahead and check this out if you want. I'll cite it down below in the description of this video. But now we're going to jump on over to X. I'm going to show you guys some information over here as well that I have for you. So for Knoll reports, no ceasefire. Russia continues shelling across all fronts with heaviest attacks on the eastern axis, says Center for Countering Disinformation head Kovalenko reported. Despite Kremlin claims, nothing has changed on the ground. So this is the video of Andriy Kovalenko while he was speaking. You can see it dated here, April 19th, 2025. So him basically coming out saying that this is not true. There is no truce, no ceasefire in this war. We are still seeing heavy fighting taking place, at least in certain areas. And I do have some other sources that can show you this information as well. Here's one from War Monitor. Russian forces are currently firing 152 millimeter caliber shells at the border area of Sumy region in Ukraine despite their claims truce. Okay, so even up in the Sumy region, this would not be on the eastern front. This is up in the northeastern section close to the Kursk region. Sumy region being attacked by 152 millimeter caliber shells, so most likely artillery. Okay, here's another one from War Monitor. Source near the front lines in Ukraine regarding the ceasefire. There is no ceasefire on the front. Russian artillery is working as before. FPV drones also continue to attack. So it makes me wonder if what Russia is doing here is they're stating that just go ahead and keep attacking Ukraine, wait for Ukraine to attack us, and then we can come out and say that Ukraine is not committing to the ceasefire. But at the same time, Russia needs to cease all fighting as well. And we are not seeing that according to all this information coming out on X. And actually, a lot of this information was breaking literally just within 30 minutes after supposedly this ceasefire going into effect. So here's a report from War Translated. President Zelenskyy added regarding the Easter truce. Okay, so here's a post from him on Telegram. You can see Zelenskyy official right here, and it was translated into English. The corresponding proposal for a full and unconditional ceasefire lasting 30 days, put forward by the United States, has remained unanswered by Russia for 39 days. Ukraine received this proposal positively, while Russia has ignored it. If Russia is suddenly ready to genuinely commit to a format of complete and unconditional silence, Ukraine will act in a mirror-like manner, matching Russia's actions, silence in response to silence, strikes and defense against strikes. If a true and complete silence takes hold, Ukraine proposes to extend it beyond the Easter period, continuing after April 20th. This will reveal Russia's true intentions, as 30 hours is enough for headlines but insufficient for genuine trust-building measures. 30 days, however, could give peace a real chance. According to the commander-in-chief's report, Russian assault operations continue on certain sections of the front, and Russian artillery has not ceased. Therefore, there is no trust in Moscow's words. We know all too well how Moscow manipulates, and we are always always prepared for anything. Ukraine's defense forces will act rationally, responding in a mirror-like fashion. Every Russian strike will be met with an adequate response. At 21:30 and 2200 hours, I expect detailed reports from Commander-in-Chief Oleksandr Syrsky following his discussions with commanders of brigades and other units on the front line regarding the situation in specific sectors. Okay, so you can see here, even Zelenskyy is well aware right now that the fighting has not ceased, but also coming out and saying that Ukraine is open to extending the ceasefire and committing to real peace and ending the strikes on both sides if need be. And it's all up to Russia at the end if Russia wants to commit to that. So once again, Ukraine calling for peace, and they're ready to at least up to 30 days stop this war. Now, from a Ukrainian review, in Donetsk region, the number of attacks by the Russians decreased after 1800, so that would have been the start time of this truce. This was told by Suspilny, by servicemen from Pokrovsk, Lyman, and Kramatorsk directions. Okay, so we can see certain areas have decreased attacks. We are not seeing as many. Russia continues to fire on the positions of AFU in the Kharkiv region. Nothing has changed compared to yesterday. Spokesman for the Luhansk OTU reported that the last airstrike was at 16:45 on Kostiantynivka. Okay, at least in some areas, looks like maybe some of the Russian troops are holding fire, but for the most part, we're still seeing in multiple areas in Ukraine, the battle is still very active. Okay, so here's another one from Ukraine battle map. Threat of Russian missile attacks on Kharkiv, Zaporizhia, Dnipro, and Donetsk regions just now. You can see the time here, 11:20 a.m. So this would have been probably around 7, 8 o'clock in the evening over in Ukraine, okay, just today at April 19th. And now we're seeing reports of possible missile attacks on Ukraine, especially on the eastern regions, okay? So once again, more show of signs here that maybe this war is not holding up in terms of a truce right now, okay? Now from Anton Gerashenko, 5 minutes before Putin's ceasefire, Russia attacked a residential building in Kherson. Don't trust Putin. This is Putin's truce, the person says in the video. So we've got a video here coming out showing some attacks that took place in Kherson, like literally just minutes before this truce went into effect. So once again, we continuously see this from Russia's side, that they are not committed to peace. And even just a few minutes before declaring a truce, already attacking residential buildings over here. And hopefully nobody was injured in these attacks. That was video coming out from Kherson just minutes before the truce went into effect, supposedly. Now for Max 24, Ukrainian military ordered not to open fire at the start of the truce, according to the BBC. Ukrainian units were ordered to cease fire and record violations by Russia, according to a senior officer. The ceasefire command came literally a few minutes after the start of Easter truce announced by Moscow. Okay, so what Ukraine was trying to do was they were ordering all their troops immediately to cease fire right at the start of the truce, and then start recording Russian violations of this truce, so that way they can take that back, probably give it over to Washington and the U.S., let people know around the world that Russia's not committed to peace and this truce, even though they're the ones that initiated it. So based on the information I'm seeing so far, guys, it looks like this war is not coming to a halt for the next 24 to 36 hours, and it looks like the battles are still ongoing at this time. So I'm going to wait for more information. If I get another update, I'll give you guys more news on this at a later time. But I have a very big feeling that this whole truce is just going to completely collapse, and by tomorrow, the war will still continue. So let me know what you guys think is going on right now in the comment section. That's going to be it for today's update. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless, and we'll see you in the next one.